And I do believe that we are live. Buenas noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. And with me, as always, is my co host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing very well. Raining a lot here. Hopefully not for the boys in the game today.
That is a good point. It is partly cloudy apparently in the
Mm.
broadcast. That's what we're seeing today. And real quick, we once again forgot to update the info here. It used to be easier to remember to do this, but not anymore. Okay, here we go. Let's see. What's the record on these Murciélagos de Camuy? You ever heard
I always,
somebody fire away?
mm, I always think of them as being a very formidable team, but I see in the lineup they're not really favored. What were you gonna
They
say?
they have, I believe the way the kids would phrase it is they have low key fallen off this year.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yep. Although I also want to make it exceedingly clear that underestimating them would be a huge mistake. Damian Medina is still a very dangerous pitcher. You can see here he's actually got a lower ERA than Ted does right now by the merest of techs. And I do think this year at least Ted is a better pitcher. But you can see that part of the reason they're doing so well. They've moved some guys around, but they still have 380s in their lineup. This is by no means a bad team. In fact, I
Mhm.
believe they're one of three teams that is currently over 40 wins.
Okay. So maybe they will give the Naves a run for their money.
Yep. Today and tomorrow, it's going to be a real sort of match of the Titans here because you've got Damian Medina going against Ted Balloon, and then the day afterwards, you've got Enrique Ortiz, who is a rookie this year, going up against Everton Stack. And I do think that one favors Naguabo way more. But I do want you to know I'm going to tell you what Enrique Ortiz's nickname is in Spanish, and then I'm going to give you. I know that you sometimes like to guess at the meanings of these things. I'm going to give you a chance there, and then I'm going to tell you what it is in English so you can laugh.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
I'm going to say it as slowly and enunciatorily as I can, just to make
Thank you.
sure there's no difficulty there. But here we go. Enrique Ortiz is also known as Nieto del Viento. Once again, that is Nieto del
Hmm.
Viento.
I think I might be setting myself up to fail because I want to say viento, something to do with being old, but I might be picking up on the wrong part of that word.
Yeah, I think you're going for like the vieux kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Ugh.
Viento is wind.
Okay.
His nickname is grandson of the wind.
That is very good. I feel like he should be helping Monkey on the journey into the West, perhaps.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
What is the other nickname? Do we know?
Uh it's a great question because as far as I can tell, this isn't a thing where he's not a particularly fast thrower. In fact, quite the opposite. And you would expect maybe like if he had a slider or something like that, but I mean he has
Mm,
a splitter and a cutter. I guess those are things you can do with wind. Two of those sound like you're passing gas, though.
I mean, that's true. I mean, his whole nickname kind of does also.
Good point. Yeah. All right. Well, this was useless, and we should get started. Folks, we got a ball game for you today. The Navegadores have been on a tear recently. They are 45 and 11, and they recently wrapped up a 20, I believe it was a 20 game win streak, which they finally lost to the surging Picudos de Ceiba, and that's what finally got them in trouble. But they've been doing amazingly. They are currently a first in runs scored and first in runs allowed
Mm.
in Liga Betances. This despite the fact that they've played fewer games than a number of other teams. And just wherever you look, The stats are incredible. They're jumping out at you. The only thing that they are actually bad at, and this will not shock you if you have been following the Navigadores.
Yep.
Do you have a guess as to where they're still pretty bad? They're still ranked pretty badly among the 38 teams in Liga Betances?
I want to say catching.
That is a harder. I don't have that metric in front of me.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
true. They are pretty close to average in that regard. But what I actually meant is in swinging strikeouts, where they are 27th out of 38. But
Good.
they're fourth in walks. So when you're fourth in walks, you're first in hits, you can take the strikeouts because that just means you're still making the most contact in the league, and you're drawing the walks. They're also first in on base percentage. They're
How
just
can they be first in all these things? Aren't some of these things opposing one another?
not these things, because
Okay.
in terms of the strikeouts, what that basically means is some teams will be ultra low in strikeouts, but then they also don't make contact, or rather, sorry, but the contact that they make is weak, and so doesn't lead to
Okay.
base hits. They still get out all the time. With the
I see.
Navigadores, you have the opposite problem. They make a ton of contact, but not all of it is good. But not all of their swings actually do that.
I see.
So they are susceptible to the old K.
Yes. Well, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky.
And they miss a lot of the shots that they also do take.
Well, that's just how it goes sometimes, huh?
There's a comedian that has as his Twitter bio. What is it? It's you miss 100% of the shots you do take. My high school basketball coach.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At any rate, so what kind of confidence or lack thereof does this inspire in you?
This is a tough one.
Oh God! For a second, I thought the connection had dropped.
At the worst possible moment.
Yeah, exactly. So not confident that you just decided to leave the stream.
Yeah. I have a lot of money riding on this one. That would be tragic. I will say.
I cannot believe we're gonna have to ban a member of the broadcast team from the booth for life.
We should start getting some old-timey gambling commercials to pepper in with our other commercials.
Yes, that's a great idea. I'm trying to think what the 1900s equivalent of DraftKings would be.
Yeah.
Coming up
Maybe
pretty empty.
perhaps some open threats to some major league players as we lead up to that. What was it? 1912, 19 something.
1919
Scandal.
World Series.
We're in 1919. Okay, there we go.
But having said that, the Louisville Gray scandals would have already happened, and that's the one that they were incredibly obvious about. They were seen around town, like dining at really good restaurants and everything. It's like, come on, man, have a little bit of
humility about it.
Be a little more circumspect about it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that'd be nice. I have a feeling that Camuy is going to win this one. I don't know why, but I do. So I'm going with that.
I do think the Navigadores pull this out just because, honestly, it's the safe way to bet right now. The Navigadores are currently winning 80% of their games.
That is good. I feel like they don't do that when we watch them, when we've got an eye on them. But that's
true.
Just confirmation bias.
But then last time, they did win 6-2 in a game that looked like it was going to be tougher. And then suddenly it just broke it out. So I think we might get to see the same thing.
We got to hear the home run bell and everything. It was great.
So we're just going to let people know that we're going to get started here right now.
I've been sending out ads myself.
Yes, you have. So we'll go down to the field. I think Camuy is going to be wearing their much more boring away uniforms for this game, which is sad.
Yes, although gray and purple, great combination.
Yeah, but I think the font, too, is going to be way more boring for this one. However, as you can see, the Navigadores are back in their sapphire home uniforms, which I'm a huge fan of. I think they look great.
Yep.
So, tell you what, while I'm letting everybody know that they should come watch these games, before we get started, we always need a word from the most handsome, from the most fetching of our sponsors. Lisa, who are we talking about?
We're talking about the Honorable, Venerable Dr. Gonzalez and his wood tar liquors. Folks, 50,000 patients have been cured over 10 years. Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments, those have all been cured by it. It helps with both consumption and bladder catarrh, that's inflammation. It purifies overhumored blood, important in the summertime. And it whets the appetite for fattening, important in the winter. Not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez wood tar liquors, except no substitutes. And you'll find it for sale in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guillermetti at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
At the risk of sounding a little bit Hedbergian, do you think it's for sale in bad pharmacies too?
I think that's where you're going to find those counterfeit Dr. Gonzalez wood tar liquors, frankly.
You're right. The knockoff ones. The ones that are
those...
50% sawdust by volume.
Yeah. Turpentine and sawdust, that's all those are. They're not going to cure all your problems like this one will. Make sure you ask for the good stuff.
I was going to make a joke about how they're probably lethal if you're a cartoon, but then I realized that they're probably lethal if you're not a cartoon as well.
Yeah, very true.
Okay, we should get moving here. For the visiting Murciélagos de Camuy, the lineup tonight is batting leadoff and playing first base, number 25, Tadeo Ramirez. Batting second and playing center field, number 10, Roberto Gomez. Batting third and playing second base, number 42, Artemisio Cortés. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 2, Hercules Parra. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 20, Cedro Pineda. That man is named after 2 different kinds of trees.
I love it. Great name.
Batting sixth and playing right field, number 40, Santiago Romero. Longtime Navigadores fans will remember Santiago Romero as the man who destroyed their dreams during the 1902 pennant series.
He looks very happy about it.
I'm sure he is. I mean, he got a ring out of it, so.
Yeah.
Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 12, Cipriano Montiel. Batting eighth and playing third base, number 6, Victor Sapien. Victor Sapien may also be memorable to some longtime LMP heads as a man who I believe got traded 3 times in the space of a month.
Oh, I love that. I love that kind of story.
He, I think, let me see if I remember this correctly. Was it San Sebastián to Guayama? Guayama to... This is where I get stuff. I know he ended up in Ponce. I'm going to say... No. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say... Because the final trade was Ponce to Camuy. Because it was Troy Ryle going from Camuy to Ponce. So I think before that, he must have been in Comerío. I think he went some combination of San Sebastián, Comerío, Guayama, Ponce, Camuy. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, pardon me. I got the first team wrong. Juana Diaz to Guayama, Guayama to Comerío, Comerío to Ponce, Ponce to Camuy. So I was right about 75% of that.
You forgot your beloved Reyes. Very
I'm
Shocking.
still very annoyed that they gave him up, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah, a little selective amnesia.
And batting ninth and catching, number 19, Francisco Prado. I want to take a second to point out that a big reason for their success, these three guys bringing up the rear are incredible defensemen, all three of them. These are three great gloves. That's got to be a big reason that they're successful. But you don't care about that because you're here to watch the home team, the Navegadores de Naguabo. And their lineup tonight is batting leadoff and playing first base, number 16, Rob the Grackle Feaster, who is unsettlingly looking like 1904 Mr. Beast.
Yes, that's true. He's got that rictus smile.
Yeah, I don't like that. Ugh, Rob, come on, man. Batting second and playing left field, number 37, Vidal Santiago. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 6, Benji Valdez. Batting fourth and playing right field, number 56, Frank Diablo Rojo del Castillo. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 11, Jacques the Centurion Centur. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 12, Wally the Human Ripcord Balk. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 4, Etaoin Shirtlu, who, honestly, I don't know what it is about the way they're shooting him this year. Looks way older. Way more than you'd expect from just an extra year on him.
Maybe something in the offseason aged him and we don't know what it is yet.
Fatherhood, obviously.
Makes sense.
Batting eighth and playing center field, number 27, Graham Underwood.
Woo!
And batting ninth and catching, number 0, Spike Stonehand. Today's temperature is 29 degrees. It's partly cloudy. Only 12 empty seats in the house, and the wind is blowing out the center, so we may get to hear that home run horn once again. By the way, forgot to mention, pitching tonight for the Murciélagos de Camuy, it's number 59, Damian Medina, who has truly inexcusable facial hair.
He doesn't look too happy about it either.
No, he doesn't. I wouldn't either. I'd be suing my barber.
Maybe he lost a bet with his teammates.
Yeah, well, he's been losing it for a long time because I think he's had that facial hair since he entered the league.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, maybe it's a promise he made until, I don't know. Well, they won the championship they were in, so I don't really understand where that could have gone from there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
Pitching for the Navegadores de Naguabo tonight, it is Ted Balloon, number 2, Looney Ballooney, who is currently on 11 wins and 3 losses. He's pitched 126 in the third innings, 98 strikeouts, and 29 walks with an ERA of 1.71. What else am I going to tell you? You know exactly what kind of pitcher he is. He faces first baseman Tadeo Ramirez, who is currently hitting .252, OPS is 700, no home runs, 17 runs batted in, and 32 stolen bases on the year. It's time for baseball. Let's get started as we get to look around the field and look at that beautiful blue and purple out there. There's a reason that this is a rivalry, and it isn't just the uniforms, but that sure helps. Boy, this 1904 drone is sure slowing down here.
Maybe it's just a weather balloon.
Possibly, yeah. Ted has hurled only one shutout this year, and he opens it up with... Stop me if you've heard this one before. Oh, it's a fastball. Dotted on the corner, but too low. It's ball 1, and here we go. Next pitch to Ramirez is also high. A fastball again. 2-0 now. Ted having a little bit of command trouble, and Tadeo Ramirez is going to reward that with a line drive base hit into left field. 3 pitches in, and Ted's got some traffic to deal with. With Tadeo Ramirez on first, the steal is definitely going to be on, especially with Roberto Gomez up to bat. He's currently batting .273, OPS of 752. 1 home run already on the year and 22 runs batted in. Ted could be in serious trouble here. Man on first and no outs. An attempted pickoff, but Ramirez is back. Slides back on his head apparently, but he's safe. Pitch to Gomez. It's a strike. Ramirez doesn't dare go on that fastball, and it's 0-1. Inside with that one. Misses inside with a fastball. Ramirez still not going. So far, we've seen 5 pitches from Ted, and I think only 2 have been strikes. Another pickoff attempt from Ted, but Ramirez back in plenty of time, and it's 1-1. Misses with the fastball again. Ooh, boy, this is already troublesome. Gomez rolls that one out to the catcher. And are they going to get him in time? Wow! The umpire says yes, they got him. And it'll be the lead runner, Tadeo Ramirez, out at second. Roberto Gomez will make it to first on the fielder's choice. There will be a man on first with 1 out for Artemisio Cortez. Currently batting .321, OPS of .882. No home runs and 37 runs batted in. He's had 2 hits in 7 at-bats against Ted Balloon. Another pickoff attempt from Ted. Goes for the pitch. And there's Gomez. He gets laid out by a mile, and Stonehand is going to get him at second. Easy job for the Obuson. Stonehand not quite up to his usual standard. He's only 33 for 61 this year on stopping steals.
Ah, jeez. He's doing a good job today, though.
Yeah, but on the other hand, he's batting .277, so, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, with 2 outs and the bases newly empty, Artemisio Cortez has a 1-0 count. The thing is, I think, as that curveball misses low, last time we saw Ted, he was pitching against the Picudos. That's a team that does strike out quite a bit. Or you can get them to strike out, I should say. Camuy, especially at the top of the lineup, those are all patient guys. They're not going to swing through a curveball just because you want them to. You have to push them. So, Ted's best strategy here is pitch to contact, I think.
Does he know that?
Probably not. But, I mean, he isn't throwing strikes, so he clearly knows that, you know, he can induce that weak contact a little bit.
That's true.
Forkball in the zone, and it's 2-1. Gets his first whiff of the game on a curveball just outside of the zone, so the strategy's working. It's 2-2 now. Let's see if he'll finish him off here. Nope, he misses low and inside with another curveball, bringing this at-bat to a full count. So now we'll get to hear the 6 words everyone loves to hear during a baseball game.
Here we go.
This will be a payoff pitch.
Woo!
The 3-2. It's a walk. Forkball misses low, and Cortez will be on base. Man on with 2 outs for Hercules Parra. He's currently hitting .256, OPS of .671, 1 home run, 29 runs batted in. Parra is absolutely your stereotypical cleanup hitter. Great at the plate, not great on the base paths. He is here to drive in runs, not necessarily to score them on his own. So with 2 outs and a man on, Ted, oh boy, misses low and away with a changeup, 1-0. Swung on and fouled. Forkball sent away. Below the zone, too. Evens the count. It's 1-1 now. That is not even a competitive pitch. Forkball way away from the zone. It's 2-1. Swung on. Flown out to center field. Ham Underwood's got it all the way, and it falls into his glove to end the inning.
Nice.
Tough, hard-fought first inning for Ted Balloon. Probably could have been easier if he, pitched in the zone.
No, that's not his style.
It's not. He gives up a hit and a walk, but limits the damage. There are no runs for Camuy. And now the Navegadores will get their first cracks at Damian Medina. Damian Medina has pitched 127 and 2/3 innings. He's got 9 wins to 4 losses, 83 strikeouts against 27 walks, an ERA of 1.69. Damian Medina, whom we last probably saw in the playoffs, pitches with a changeup and splitter as his twin money pitches, and I want you to look in particular for that splitter. The Navegadores have been very weak to it in the past. In fact, part of the reason that they were swept out of the national championship last year is Isabela's rotation loves the splitter. Almost every pitcher there has one. And against him, it's Rob Feaster, who's only managed one hit against Medina in 7 at-bats. Overall, though, Feaster is currently hitting .271, OPS of 730, has a home run, has 25 runs batted in, and currently leads Liga Betances with 51 stolen bases on the year.
I love his socks. They're great.
Mm-hmm. Here goes from Damian Medina. First pitch. And is that going to be a strike? He does not go around on the sinker. Ball 1. Feaster in June is currently hitting .385 over 26 AB. He's really seeing the ball well right now as he swings right through a changeup and never misses an opportunity to disprove what the booth is saying about him at the time. It's a 1-1 pitch. That splitter is called a strike, and that's an example of the reason why that pitch is such a death punch right now.
Mm-hmm.
That probably wouldn't have been called a strike if it had been a fastball or a forkball or any other pitch that you might leave up there. But the split finger gives you that ability to make that happen. It gets you some edge calls that way.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. It's a 1-2 count on Rob Feaster. He swings on that one and doesn't get it past Cortez. So it'll be a ground out, 4-3. Cortez has it to his left side, throws to first, and he is out on a low fastball. Good swing, but good defense from the infield. 4 pitches in. Damian Medina will now face Vidal Santiago, who got moved up to the 2-hole in the lineup this month. He's currently hitting .316, OPS of 731. No home runs and 26 runs batted in. Let's see if we can find out what he's got. Against Medina, he's had 2 hits in 5 at-bats.
Not great.
Yeah, but not many ABs either.
True.
Ball 1 misses low, 1-0. Vidal, a very consistent bat for the Naves. Doesn't give you too much, is the thing. Is not a big hero ball guy. Likes to just kind of get the job done, however necessary. These are in the zone. It's a sinker. 1-1 now. Base is empty and 1 out. So one pitch comes in. Changeup misses low. 2-1. He's got a good enough eye. He makes hard enough contact. He's got some power, although not nearly as much as some of the other guys in the lineup. But it's enough. He kind of does everything a little bit well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A good all-arounder.
Mm-hmm. 2-1 count. Swung on and bounced to Victor Sapien, who throws that one across the infield pretty quickly. That's what a good hot cornerman will do for you. And Damian Medina will now face Benji Valdez, the shortstop, who's been on a tear. He's currently hitting .323, OPS of nearly 900. No home runs, 27 runs batted in. Benji Valdez is currently on track to break his own wins above replacement record that he set last year. If he does, he may very well end up winning his second Ilustrísimo award in a row.
Ooh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
If he can just get himself on base, he'll be taken off. We know that.
Mm-hmm. He has stolen 36 bases on the year, although lately he's had a little bit of trouble. He's 36 for 50 on the year. Not a terrible rate. That's still, about 72%, but you would like to see a little bit more from one of the premier base runners in the sport.
Yeah.
Ball misses low, 1-0. Valdez swings right through the sinker, 1-1. Swung on and hit right back to Cortés. He'll have plenty of time to make the throw, and that will end the inning. Nothing doing for Naguabo here in the first. They saw some good pitches, made okay contact, but they'll need to do better than that when they bring the middle of the lineup up against Medina. We're through one. It is a scoreless tie. So, your confidence level here. Holding where it was? You think this is a Camuy dub?
I do. I can't explain it, but I just have that feeling, and I still have it. So I think they're going to pull this one out.
Fair enough. Ted Balloon comes out in the top of the second. He got through one inning on 1 hit, 1 walk, and 17 pitches. He now faces Cedro Pineda, the left fielder, who is currently hitting .347 OPS of .890. No home runs and 25 runs batted in. He's having a hell of a rookie year here. Cedro Pineda was signed on January 30th, and Balloon gets a swing and miss on the low changeup. That's exactly what he wants to do there. Cedro Pineda, very much a pull hitter. I don't think they've moved the outfield over to acknowledge him, which is maybe some confidence there that they've got in their left and center field. Ted misses way outside with that curveball. Not even close. 1-1 now. And way inside with the fastball this time. 2-1. Ted having a lot of trouble, and I don't think... I mean, he last pitched 5 days ago. He even got an extra day of rest in there. Swung on. Lifted into right field. That looks like it's going to fall in against the wall for Frank Del Castillo, who is taking his sweet time getting rid of the ball there.
Jeez, Frank, come on.
That is a very slow throw, and that's going to end up being a leadoff triple.
Ugh. He didn't have to get a triple.
No, he didn't. That could have been held to a double. Cedro Pineda will be on third as Del Castillo's throw takes way too long to get to Wally Bach. And they'll have to do some infield wizardry here if they want to escape a run scoring, especially with Santiago Romero up to bat. Always a dangerous batter to face in this situation. He is currently hitting .289, OPS of .776, no home runs, 29 runs batted in. That was a low fastball, not quite middle, but definitely not the pitch you want to throw in that count.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you throw more competitive strikes, you don't have to. As Romero swings to that first pitch, it's a line drive, but it is fouled off. Fastball, low and away, 0-1. Strike right down the middle of the zone with another fastball, 0-2. And let's see if Ted can get himself a cheap out here and make things a little easier. He got him! Punches him out on 3 pitches, all fastballs. And Santiago Romero has to go back and sit. Think about what he just did. Cipriano Montiel will come up. He is currently batting .196. OPS of .505. No home runs. 16 runs batted in. And they must really think things are going to get better for him to put him ahead of Sapien and Prado, both of whom I would argue are better hitters at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
With a man on third and 1 out. Let's see what tricks Ted's got in the bag. Forkball is away. That's ball 1. Edge pitch there. He might have gotten the call, but he didn't. That fastball catches just enough of the zone to be a strike. And we've got ourselves an aces wild situation. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 runner, and 1 out. Balloon misses inside with a curveball, 2-1. Gets a swinging strike on the fastball, 2-2. And see, that's the danger. When you're able to get those strikes, those punch-outs on the fastball, you're going to want to throw that fastball. That's what you're going to want to keep spamming, as we would say now.
Mm-hmm.
And Balloon falls low again with a curveball. So this is a full count, and this will be a payoff pitch.
Here we go, this time.
Got him! Back-to-back Ks for Ted Balloon. Cipriano Montiel comes up empty again on that fastball away. And it'll be Victor Sapien as the last chance to get that run home from third with 2 outs. Victor Sapien currently hitting .246, OPS of .687. No home runs and 22 runs batted in. Let's see if Ted can successfully navigate around the early trouble. Sapien hits that one to Wally Bach on the first pitch. Wally Bach throws it over to first, and they're out of it. No damage as Ted Balloon works around that leadoff triple, and it'll be all Camuy gets in the top of the second. Pretty good news for Cedro Pineda, who has now hit 6 triples on the year, but he gets stranded. In the bottom of the second, it'll be Frank Del Castillo, the Centurion, and Wally Bach with a chance to try and get some hits. We start with Del Castillo, who has a chance of redemption after that poor defensive play in right field. He's currently hitting .263, OPS 726, no home runs, and 32 runs batted in. In June, he's currently hitting .231. He had a bit of a torrid stretch in May where he was doing quite well, but appears to have cooled off recently. He faces Damian Medina, who got through the first inning cleanly on 11 pitches. Frank Del Castillo, nonetheless, top 5 in Liga Betances and runs scored with 39 as he looks at a fastball down in the zone, 0-1. That's got to be inside the sinker, and indeed it is. Umpire signals, and it's ball 1. Evens the count at 1-1. Medina just barely gets the call on that splitter once again. It's 1-2 now. That could have been a ball, and usually is when it's Ted pitching. But here we go again. Do the bathrooms just suck at La Timonera or something, do you think?
In what context?
Like, I'm trying to figure out why the umpires just hate Naguabo pitching so much. Like, what makes them so mad that every time we see this, Ted struggling to get those edge calls, and then the other pitcher being able to get them?
Do you think, we know Ted hits a lot of batters, do you think he hits umpires? Would the game tell us if he does that? Maybe they're mad about that.
That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. He may have. That might be it.
In my mind, I just imagine, he's loose cannon with those baseballs sometimes. Maybe he hits the umpires. They probably wouldn't have had any kind of protective gear at this time, would they?
Catching masks were already a thing, so it is possible the umpires were wearing them.
Okay.
But I don't know. They certainly wouldn't be as effective as they are now. That's for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a 1-2 count for Damian Medina against Frank Del Castillo. Del Castillo fouls that one away and extends the at-bat. Nicely done on the changeup. A changeup in the zone, too, so it would have been a strike nonetheless. Good recognition there. What?
What the
They
heck?
say he went too far on the checked swing.
I hate that.
Sure, why not? The Centurion comes up. He is currently hitting .288, OPS 710, no home runs, 34 runs batted in, 1 out, and the base is empty. Centaur has stolen.
Is he okay since his injury? Has he been doing all right?
He's been doing pretty well. Yeah, he's come back. Let's see. He's not doing as well as he was doing last year, but his defense is in full bore because he's already accumulated. He's already most of the way to the wins above replacement he had last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's at about a little bit over half the games. So he's
right.
Contributing for sure. That much we will
That's
say.
good. I'm glad.
With 1 out, base is empty. Centaur and Balk on deck. And surprisingly, Centaur is allowed to consider that a checked swing. It'll be ball 1 on the fastball. He lines that one down to third baseline, but you can't get that one past Victor Sapien. He ranges to his right, gets it, turns, and makes the throw. Centaur is out at first, and that's 2 outs. The bases remain empty for the human ripcord, Wally Balk. And normally, in previous years, Wally Balk coming up to the plate has not been an enjoyable experience, but this year, even if he has gone a little bit cold recently, he is still hitting .246 on base OPS of 626, which is actually, it's interesting, depending on which metrics you take. In terms of his kind of personal performance, he's a little bit worse than he was last year. in terms of how many times he creates opportunities for runs, he's actually a little bit better than he was last year. So as a team contributor, he's doing a little bit better, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's good.
He does have 2 runs and 30 runs batted in. Let's see if he can at least extend the inning a little bit and give Medina something to think about. He might... Nope, that's foul.
Darn. I see he's quite good at sacrificial bunts.
Yes, he is, but they've been told never to do that, so...
Fair.
Fouls off a splitter, low and in, 0-1. Maybe thought it was a fastball, could send it a mile away. And that's a base hit. Line drive for Wally Balk. And
nice.
He says, screw your no-hitter. Puts it through the right side gap. Balk makes a wide turn at first base, and that'll be his 50th hit of the season. So he'll be there for Itaoing Sherdlu, who's having a bit of a resurgence lately. And that, by the way, drove his Wally's weighted runs created back over average. I should also mention, let's see, in 56 games, he's gotten 50 hits. That's, what, a 112 game pace for 100 hits, which is usually a pretty good measure. Once you've got it to your 100th hit, you know you're kind of doing okay. Maybe not amazingly, but you're doing good enough that you're not going to be benched. Last year, it took him 142 games to make it there. So this is definitely an improvement.
Well, that's good.
Up comes Sherdlu, who is currently hitting 245, OPS of 640, no home runs, and 32 runs batted in. And he could sure use a power surge. He's been having trouble. He's getting on base okay, though not as well as he did during his rookie and sophomore seasons. But it is really the slugging that has fallen completely off. He's just not hitting the doubles and triples like he used to. 2 outs, man on first, and Sherdlu cuts that one away. It's a foul, sends it backwards at strike 1. Sensible swing decision, given that otherwise that probably would have been a strike anyway with this umpire. But that slider definitely misses. It's called ball 1. 1-1 count, man on first, and 2 outs. Sherdlu watches that fastball miss low. It'll be 2-1. That sinker is called a strike on the inside part of the zone. It's 2-2 now. And he got him on a swinging strike. Sherdlu goes after a really late pitch there and cuts right through the slider. Damian Medina gets a second punch out to end the inning and strand the runner. We're through 2. It remains a scoreless tie. We go into the top of the third. Ted Balloon at 31 pitches over 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Will face the 9-1-2 hitter, starting with Francisco Prado, the catcher. He's currently hitting .213, OPS of 566, no home runs and 13 runs batted in. See what Ted's got against him. Well, wastes no time, pumps in an immediate first strike. 0-1 on the forkball. Misses inside with the second forkball, 1-1. Prado hits that one down the line, but it bounces foul, 1-2. 2 strikes on him. Let's see if Ted can finish him off here. Not quite yet. Fastball misses very low. And that evens the count, 2-2. And then he misses again with another fastball to bring it to the 3rd full count he has faced so far in this game. So he's thrown 36 pitches, right?
Okay.
A full count is, by definition, at least 6 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
So fully half of his pitches have been devoted to setting off full counts.
He likes the drama, I guess.
Clearly. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. The patron who created Ted, did specifically define him as a messy bee who loves drama. That's not even a joke. I'm not making that up. They did do that. That happened.
That's great. That's great. He's embodying it perfectly.
Full count time. Got him! Third strikeout from Ted Balloon. And he goes down on the low curveball. Yeah, actually. Oh, man. What was... Oh, we discovered the other day why Ted Balloon got called for 2 balks in the same game. There are... I would estimate 90% of pitchers don't get called for 2 balks in an entire season. And it turned out that when we switched to this version over of the simulator, and they sort of multiplied all the values, Ted was already set to be called for something like 2 or 3 balks a season. Just have a bad motion, and that would happen. And I guess it got multiplied to 30.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even know what the single season balk record is. We're going to look it up live.
So he has a little mental breakdown on the mound every once in a while?
Yeah, the major league record in a single season is held by Dave Stewart, who had 16 balks in 1988 while pitching for the Oakland Athletics.
Okay.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's great. Ted Balloon, the lineup turns over, and now he faces Tadeo Ramirez, who is 1 for 1. He is hitting .256, but away from home, he's under the Mendoza line on a 198 average. Let's see if Ted wants to dig that average lower as, whoa, hard hit ball, but it is foul. Fastball high from Ted Balloon there. The 0-1 pitch. Gets a swinging strike this time from the low changeup, which you know means Ted's going to throw like 7 more of those.
Yeah. He loves it.
But he's got him in the hole. Let's see if he'll finish him off here. Oh, just barely misses the zone there. Fastball inside. See, that could have been an edge call. That could have been a strike. It probably would have been for Damian Medina. But instead, it's a 1-2 count. See, Ted. Ah, he plunked him.
Oh, no, Ted, no. Ted, no.
I believe that is Ted's 10th. No, sorry, I'm way off. That's his 5th hit batter of the year. He's actually done a bit better at that this year than before.
Oh, good.
But with a man on, he will now face Roberto Gomez, who is 0 for 1 on the day, with 1 on and 1 out. Pickoff attempt, and Tadeo Ramirez back in plenty of time there. Another pickoff attempt there.
Now it seems like Ted hit that guy once. He really wants to hit him again.
Exactly, yeah. Nobody goes on that fastball 0-1. Another pickoff attempt. Trying to keep Ramirez close to first there. Trying to deny him the big lead that he definitely wants to take. 0-1. Another pickoff attempt to first.
I get it. He's a very good stealer, apparently.
Pickoff attempt to first. Pickoff attempt to first. What am I singing?
Another one bites the dust?
Yes, I am. Yeah. 0-1. I'm not even... No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it again. You can't make me. 0-1.
You're thinking it.
Yes, of course I am. Oh, look, it's a throw to the plate. Strike 2 on the fastball, and maybe Roberto Gomez didn't even know he was supposed to be waiting for a pitch at this point.
Yeah, it's good distraction.
Yeah. He was just, he was thinking about pregnant birds, as we say.
You lost me.
That's a common Puerto Rican idiom for daydreaming. Dreaming about pregnant birds.
Huh. I'm not really following the logic of that one. Sure.
They don't exist, so your head must really be in the clouds. Because you're thinking of things that don't exist. Changeup is just barely going to miss for a ball, and it's 1-2. Boy, this is agony. But he got him! Another strikeout.
Woo!
Struck him out on the forkball. And Ted has his 4th strikeout of the game. He will now face Artemisio Cortez, who last time drew a walk. His on-base percentage is now .412. And that curveball is called a strike, 0-1. First edge call that I think Ted has gotten all game. There goes Stonehand, and he finishes the inning, gunning down Tadeo Ramirez. That's what all those pickoffs were about.
Oh, yes.
The inning is over, and through the top of the third, Camuy has managed to only get a triple, a single, a walk, and a plunk. So they've kind of ordered off the buffet menu of batting outcomes so far.
Mm-hmm.
They've also, of course, struck out 4 times. So, in the bottom of the third, Damian Medina had 25 pitches through 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit, will face the 8-9-1 hitter, starting with 1, Graham Ham Underwood.
Yay, Ham.
He's currently hitting .315, OPS of 762, 1 home run on the year, and 32 runs batted in with the bases empty like he has now. Not only did he hit his home run in this exact situation, but he's also hitting damn near 400. By the way, did you notice how many hits he has?
No.
He has 69 hits.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's real tight. Yeah, his over the last, I would say, it's kind of hard to tell exactly when the resurgence started to happen, but in June, he is hitting .536.
Wow.
Just a little
That's
bit more, and he'll
really,
be Nate
very
Silver.
God forbid.
Exactly. Let's see what he's got for us today. Watches, it's a good take. That changeup is on the inside, 1-0. That's going to be a sinker strike, up high near the shoulder. I can see where you don't want to swing at that one exactly, 1-1. Certainly not early in the at-bat. Swings on that one, hits it to Montiel at short, and he'll have plenty of time to run Ham down at first. No chance to hoof it in time.
Darn it.
Yeah, that slider is working really well for Medina, and he got him to swing at a pitch outside of the zone. That kind of extension, you're basically asking for a ground out. Oh, well. Spike Stonehand, who's been on his own heater, comes up. He's currently hitting .277, OPS of 689, 1 home run and 22 runs batted in. Let's see if he can last a little bit longer. 1 out, bases empty. Stonehand, still one of the guys that's the most fun to watch at the plate because you really never know what's going to happen. Sinker misses wide, 1-0. Some of you may remember that last week as Stonehand drops that one into center field. Should be catchable out there, and it is. It looked like it was going to drop early for Roberto Gomez, but instead he was in position. Stonehand, you may remember last time we were streaming, drew 2 walks in one game, which if you had told anybody, any Navegadores fan, before the beginning of this season that was going to happen, they would have had you involuntarily committed.
How the turntables.
Mm-hmm. How the crumbles cookie. Mm-hmm. With 2 outs and the base is still empty, up comes Rob Feaster, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Feaster fouls that one off. It's a slider. Away once again. He loves the slider away against lefties. 0-1. Made with a 1-strike pitch, and that sinker misses by the barest of margins. 1-1. Should have probably been a strike, but we're not going to tell the umpire otherwise. Feaster swings at the splitter and knocks it foul. 1-2. Again, one of those splitters that probably would have been a strike anyway, so what are they going to do about it? 1-2 now. Misses inside with the sinker. 2-2. Rob Feaster, does he get that one up the middle? He does not. Montiel has plenty of time to range to his left, throw to first, and end the inning. We are through 3. Naguabo and Camuy both down in their respective halves of the third without getting much of anything going. Before we continue with the middle of the game, and boy, this is tense, we need to have a word from another of our sponsors. Louisa, the booth is yours.
Thank you. Folks, in this sweaty summer season, I want to tell you about Atkinson's White Rose. This is called an exquisite perfume by none other than Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of York herself. As soft and sweet-smelling as a rose. The most delicious of perfumes is Atkinson's, the only real and original one. Atkinson's English perfumes are extremely superior to others. They have real, natural scents, actually extracted from flowers, and not artificially manufactured, as many others are with chemical products, such as Upoponex, Frangipani, Essence Bouquet, Heliotrope, and Jockey Club, and all other fashionable scents. Don't trust them. Do not trust imitators. Authenticity verified by the label and factory mark of the White Rose. And they are sold at all perfumeries, manufactured by J&E Atkinson, 24 Old Bond Street, London, UK. This is a wonderful imported perfume. The quality is verified by the mark of the White Rose. That's important. And I guess don't trust chemical product-based perfumes. Jockey Club. They're still around, aren't they? I feel like I know that name. Filling you with chemicals. When you get down to it, though, let's be real. All of these are chemicals. They're all going to involve water, alcohol, essential oils, these sorts of things. It's really hard to avoid them. Food coloring, probably. That was a big deal around the turn of the century. And you saw that less over time. It became cheap seeming to have a perfume that was a bright color. But then, nowadays, some of them do go back to that. Although you do get a lot of colorless perfumes as well. It's funny how those aesthetic tastes change.
Yeah, if my perfume doesn't look like a fruity cocktail, I don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. It better be bright blue within that bottle, or it's
Yes.
no good.
It better look like Romulan ale.
Have there been a line of Star Trek perfumes? I bet there have. Although I do not
Probably,
know
but
about
they're probably not the way that you and I are thinking about them right now.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They're probably, I don't know, it's, you know, French vineyard, and it just has a picture of Picard on there or whatever.
Oh, that's probably true. And I want it to be like Rectigino. I want to smell like
Yes.
a weird, trendy beverage.
Yes. What's that? What's that worm dish the Klingons have? Yeah, that should be a
Oh, I don't
perfume.
remember it.
Bach or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to
One of
think
those
what
weird tusked beasts. That'd be a good musky scent.
Yes, that's right. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a Klingon thing that looks like a wolf, but also kind of like a warthog, and it showed up in Worf's Nightmare or the holodeck going crazy or one of those types of things. One of them got out somehow.
I would like to point out that everything we have mentioned, we immediately went to Klingons for perfume sources. We didn't do a single stop through any of the other cultures we could have done. We went just ham on Klingons.
I feel like all Vulcan perfumes would smell like rubbing alcohol and peppermint. Nothing else.
Why peppermint? Because it's logically the best smell.
It's just got a strong, like a medicinal, clinical type of feel to me. I feel like they would love that.
Interesting. Yeah. I would have thought in that case to smell of bleach, probably.
But that's gross. See, I feel like all organic life forms would not like the smell of bleach.
I don't think rubbing alcohol and peppermint is a much less gross smell, because I've smelled Listerine before.
Uh-huh.
It's not.
They love that. Oh, Romulans and
Sh-
do Romulans love it? Vulcans
Romulans
for sure. Romulans maybe.
Romulans. That's actually what they first had the war about. I think Romulans wanted to convert to scope.
Romulans like that orange flavored Listerine, which I also enjoyed. And they discontinued it. That's why there was a war.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually why Zephram Cochrane was trying to discover warp speed, because some other planet would have orange flavored Listerine.
Yeah. And now we've got purple Listerine. What's the world coming to?
Darrow Breen has a joke about that, about, which, what are the different mint flavors of Listerine. And he says, like, name a mint. And people say, peppermint. And he says, that one didn't make the cut. Spearmint. And he's like, nope. You know what they're all called? They're all called cool mint, clear mint, fresh mint. And then he proceeds to say all these new bullshit mints, which that phrase has stuck with me. Bullshit mints. Every time I look at something and it doesn't say, and it just has an adjective with mint that is not a real thing, that joke just plays through my head in its entirety.
Yep, and with good reason, because most of those are synthetically generated, and we know from this White Rose ad, that means they're bad.
Exactly. Thank you, White Rose. Thank you. Oh man, I keep forgetting. We're reading a White Rose themed commercial, and I stopped reading Cultivo una Rosa Blanca. I plant a White Rose as my sound check.
Ooh. Kismet.
Alright, just letting everybody know that this is going on. Yeah, I'm trying to think who else. A Riker-themed perfume would presumably smell like a jazz club.
Yeah, I feel like that one's going to have a lot of musk. There might be gasoline involved. All of this is just my first thoughts. So you can't grill them too much. Yes, absolutely, bourbon.
Now, grill, I think, is the correct verb to use. I think it would have a strong cigarette note.
Oh, I thought you meant like a big grilled hunk of beef, which I can also see for Riker.
Yeah.
All of these are great. These are all great notes to put in a Riker perfume.
Notes. I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm. It's all about the notes you're not putting in your beef-scented perfume.
God. I hate that I can definitely see Riker having this conversation. I hope Jonathan Frakes is watching.
Oh, me too.
Because guess what, Jonathan? Now we're the writers. We invented it. Okay, here we go. Top of the fourth, Ted Balloon. 47 pitches over 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and a plunk. And he faces the 3-4-5 hitters, starting with Artemisio Cortez, who drew a walk and then... drew a walk. This is his second at-bat. He was at-bat when he was at the plate when somebody got caught stealing, so... Turns all the way on that fastball and fouls it off 0-1. If he'd taken it, that probably gets called a ball.
Yeah.
Swinging strikeout on the curveball. Ted might be starting to settle in. I don't want to jinx it, but he's got him in the hole. Okay, acceptable. A changeup that could have been easily called strike 3. Look at where it was. And I'll take that. That's a pretty good throw in there. 1-2 count. Hit to Centaur. He's got it. And he can't get the ball out of his glove. That's going to be an infield hit. A single that Cortez is able to leg out there.
Darn.
That's all right. He will now face Hercules Parra, who is 0 for 1 on the day. With a man on first and no outs, let's see if he can once again work his way out of traffic. Is that a strike? Yes! It's a fastball. And Ted gets the edge call on the fastball. It's called strike one. That one, no one was going to call a strike, buddy. 1-1 count. Fastball low. Fastball is in there for a strike, just on top of the other one, but enough for the umpire to be fooled. It'll be a 1-2 count, man on first and no outs. Got it. Sends it to Centur. They're going to go to second for one, and it'll be a fielder's choice as Parra is too far along the path. They don't want to risk Feaster having to come off the bag and allow the runner. So it'll be out one with a man on first. Cedro Pineda, who is 1 for 1 with a triple on the day, will come up. He is hitting 400 on the first pitch. Ted, let's see here. Misses inside with a curveball, 1-0. Pitching maybe a little bit afraid here. No, never mind that. Pumps a fastball into a low corner. 1-1 now. And then misses outside with a fastball, 2-1. That one's fouled off. Lucky hit for Pineda. Good contact for Balloon. He's probably thanking him for that one. It's a 2-2 count now. Ted misses inside with a fastball. And hey, guess what? It's full count. This will be a payoff pitch. Hit hard out to right center field. Nobody's going to be near that one. And I think Cedro Pineda might just have himself an RBI triple. Ham recovers it in time to make the throw to the cutoff man. But how many extra bases is Pineda going to take? Yep. It's an RBI triple, and it's the Navegadores who will blink first. Camuy takes the first run of the game. They draw first blood.
All right. Finally.
That's why
it's all happening.
Mm-hmm. That's why you don't want to force yourself into a full count situation. But at 61 pitches, Ted has to pick himself up, deal with a runner on third, and only one out against Santiago Romero, 0 for 1. Now, I'm going to tell you something. On almost any other team in the league, what Pineda just did would tie their single game record for triples. Hitting 2 triples in the same game. For almost any team, that would be a record. Two teams, the two teams that don't have that, I mean, there might be others, but the two teams I know for sure have more triples than that on their single game record are the ones playing in this game. The Navegadores had 3 in the same game by John Anderson. Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, Tadeo Ramirez has hit 5 in the same game.
What? That's too many.
Yes, it is.
Although I guess Pineda's coming for his throne.
Maybe. 1 out, man on third with Santiago Romero, who's 0 for 1, up to bat. Romero struck out last time, and looks like he wants to do that again as he misses a changeup that was on the plate. You could have eaten off of it. 0-1. That's hit to Valdez. Or is it? Nope, he can't corral it, and that's going to bring in a run. Santiago Romero gets a little bit of revenge there as it makes it into left field. Pineda scores. It's the 30th RBI of the season for Santiago Romero, and Camuy extends it to 2-0. Ted doesn't usually watch games unravel this early on him, so he might have a little bit of trouble bearing down here, even though he's facing the bottom of the lineup. Man on first and only 1 out. Up comes Cipriano Montiel. He is 0 for 1. Montiel checks his swing in time on the forkball, 1-0. He pops it up, right side of the infield. They'll just have to have a little bit of a conference to decide who goes after, and looks like that is Rob Feaster who takes charge. Forkball is in there. 2 outs, man on first, and up comes Victor Sapien, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Runner at first taking his lead there as that fastball is in there for a called strike, 0-1. That falls inside the changeup, 1-1 now. That swung on and lifted foul. Big wide arc that Vidal Santiago doesn't bother to chase down, and for good reason. It'll be 1-2. Gets that one, hits it to Centur, who's got it, makes the throw to first, and a damaging inning is over. The Navegadores got to figure out how to respond after that. 3 hits and 2 runs later for the Murciélagos. Well, so far it looks like you were right.
Yes! Finally! Finally, my predictions are coming true.
Ted is having so far, one of the worst games of his season. Although I don't think it is unique to this one. Well, on April 20th, he was the one who got blazed. He took his first loss of the season and allowed 6 runs. That's the most he's allowed this year. He does regularly allow 2 runs or so, or 3. So if he can just kind of maneuver his way through from here on out, he'll be fine.
Do you think you might pull him at any point?
Oh, yeah. It's if he's already allowed the 2 runs and it looks like he's going to have trouble, yeah. Though I will say I am trying to avoid overloading the bullpen because, as you know, we are without one of our starting pitchers from the beginning of the year. And none of these other guys can really give us a lot of length. Now, if it gets to the point where they're, heaven forfend, kicking the Navegadores up and down the field, then sure, why not have a bullpen game and see what happens? But for the moment, I'm willing to let Ted ride it out as long as he can. He has a pretty good track record of having one bad inning and then kind of figuring it out for the rest of the game. So I'm hoping that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Damian Medina comes into the 4th on 35 pitches, 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. He faces Vidal Santiago, who is 0 for 1 on the day, hitting .410 on the first pitch. Vidal Santiago, of course, the former Mulo from the town of Aguas Buenas. He's got 3 hits, I believe that said, against Medina, hitting .336 against righties. Doing a bit worse in June. You know how it is. All other things being equal, you're just going to have to watch the at-bat. Fastball misses away, 1-0. Right down the middle with a fastball, and he doesn't swing. 1-1 this time. Santiago misses right through a sinker. Cuts entirely through it, and it's 1-2.
Oh, jeez.
The 2-strike pitch coming in from Medina.
So close to his leg.
Up the middle. Yes! It's the second base hit of the game for the Navegadores. And Vidal Santiago will be on first. As that bounces into center field, it's a leadoff single. And up comes Benji Valdez. He's 0 for 1. This is a guy you kind of want here because he can push Vidal around the bases. If they, with his speed, if he can hit it far enough away, they can take a couple bases on this one and be in good position.
All right, let's see.
Man on first and no outs.
Here we go.
That sinker is called strike 1. Pickoff attempt, but Santiago is back on first. Fastball is in there, strike 2, and Benji's bat has yet to leave his shoulder. I know that the person who created Benji mentioned that Benji never does anything super cool during a game like this.
Uh-huh.
That it always happens behind the scenes, which is they're right. Is very unfortunate that Benji seems to save his heroics for off screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like a real Clark Kent.
Interesting. I'm.
You not approve of this metaphor?
I see where you're going with this, but he does look the same in both cases. That's what I'm not understanding.
I would argue that Clark Kent and Superman look the same in both cases.
Well, see, there are multiple people who have reported not being able to recognize a coworker because they saw them at like a bar, or because they like got a different, because they did put glasses on. So that is a real thing, I think. I am much less annoyed at the idea that his coworkers didn't know who he was now than I was as a kid.
Yes, I agree with that as well. But what is the problem with me calling him a Clark Kent?
That he's
Benji,
not
I
like
mean-
making a costume change. You know what I mean? Like this isn't a secret identity thing.
Yes, but when we see him, he's always saying, "Oh, you just missed it. I did a great thing."
Oh, I
off-screen."
see. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's got to be a better fit for this, but I don't know who it is.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Maybe, but like the opposite. Good.
Okay. The Hulk, I guess, would be the good version.
Yeah, he does. He does seem to Hulk out when we're not actively streaming. If you wanted to look at it that way, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, with 2 strikes, let's see if Benji can do anything. Whoa! He lines it through the first baseline. That's going to be down for extra bases. The right fielder nowhere near ready for that one, and Benji is off and running. He's going for it. He's going for third. Exactly what I said would happen. Benji has an RBI triple. The Navigadores making a 1-run game, 2 at-bats into the bottom of the 4th.
All right, I'm glad to be wrong. I hope they can catch up.
Santiago comes in to score as Valdez chugged all the way around the bases. They took advantage of Tadeo Ramirez's bad first base defense. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. He's just as bad in left field, which used to be his bailiwick.
Darn, that's a shame.
Yeah. Oh, boy, he was really bad last year. No wonder they changed him. He's terrible at first base, too. By the way, last year, when he hit those, 5 or 6 triples or whatever it was, he led the league in triples. He hit 63.
Whoa.
He had a total of 172 hits. So over a third of his hits were triples.
What? That's too many. That's too many triples.
It's very funny. Frank de Castillo up to bat. He did not have a successful AB last time, but he hits a lot better in the middle innings. And with a man on third and no outs, this would be prime time to tie the game. Mm-hmm. He struck out last time. As, let's see here, that fastball is in there at the knees, 0-1. He didn't like his chance of swinging on that one as he fouls that one off, slaps it away, a change up, high and away, and sends it to the backstop. 0-2 now. Medina once again got a Navigador in the hole. Let's see if he'll finish him off here. No, he won't, at least not yet. That slider misses low, 1-2. And so does that fastball. 2-2. De Castillo here being more judicious, locking it down with 2 strikes. It's a 2-2 count, man on third, no outs. He's got all the time in the world to make this happen. Knocks that one foul. He'll extend the at-bat. Beautiful work from Frank here. After a bad start to the AB, he's pushing it. 2-2 count. What? Oh, it bounced off the catcher, and he had to retrieve it. And for a second there, it looked like Valdez was going to be able to slide home, which would have been incredible.
Very funny. Yes.
Yep. But that does mean it's a full count. And that means this will be a payoff pitch.
Here we go.
It's a walk. Frank de Castillo draws a walk to put runners on the corners after starting with 2 strikes. And here comes Jacques Centur. The Centurion is hitting 400 in June. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Let's see if he wants to get that average back up.
Oh, man. This
Runners on the corners and no outs. They're guarding the corners and shifting right in the outfield to try and deny him the extra bases here. Mm-hmm. As he fouls off that leadoff slider. 0-1.
He's too hungry for it.
Prado tried to get the call on that fastball, and it was not successful. 1-1.
All right, that's better.
He checked the swing in time. Yep, he held up on the sinker. It's ball 2. Suddenly, the umpires aren't giving Medina the calls. It's 2-1 now.
Yeah.
Centaur fouls that one off as well. It's 2-2 now. A slider that time once again. Let's see. If I'm Medina, I think this is where I break out the splitter. He hasn't seen it yet, this AB.
He's doing a good job being around the zone to get Centaur to really try for something.
Yes, I think that's exactly. He loves doing that with lefties, especially because the slider, if you're a righty pitching against a lefty, you gotta be careful with the slider.
Yeah.
The slider is one of those pitches that is, for opposite-handed batters, the easiest to smash if you don't locate it well.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to put it in a zone where even if they do bring it around on time, they're not going to make good contact. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. 2-2 count. Centaur lifts that one, right field line, but foul. Yeah. I have seen balls hit there bounce fair, so I wasn't entirely sure where that was going to go, but yeah.
It was a good effort.
Yes, it was. We'll stay at a 2-2 count. Yep. Goes down looking on the splitter, like I said.
Ugh.
Up comes Wally Balk, who is 1-for-1 on the day before this inning. He was the only Navigador to make it on base, so let's see if he's got some more of that magic left in him. As there's a pickoff attempt to the Castillo, but he is back in plenty of time. Runners on the corners with one out. All Wally has to do is lift this one into the outfield, and Benji Valdez's legs can do the rest of the work. He did not do that, instead grounding out, and that's going to be a double play to end the inning. Damian Medina doing a great job there. And retires the side, but they do get one run back. So if Ted can stay in control of the game, this should be very winnable. Naguabo remains down 2-1. Well, that looked like it was about to be exciting.
Yeah, for a minute there, but it's okay. They can rally again, I'm sure.
Yeah, just as long as Ted keeps it under control here.
Yeah.
Ted is at a nice number of pitches over 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk, and he will now face the 9-1-2 hitters, starting with Francisco Prado, who is 0-for-1 on the day. Prado watches that fastball miss outside, 1-0. Gets the changeup, and gets the call on the changeup, rather, 1-1. Changeup misses way outside, even farther on the fastball. He threw for pitch 1, 2-1. Definitely the memo has gone out. Leave the bat on your shoulder if you
yeah
don't absolutely have to swing. 2-1.
Yeah, seems like it.
Well, he pops that one up, got jammed and completely under that pitch. Looks like it's going to go to Centaur, who's got it for out number 1. Up comes Tadeo Ramirez, who, of course, got plunked in the 3rd and then also had a base hit earlier in the game with 1 out and the bases empty. Let's see what Ted comes up with for him. Oh, Ramirez cuts on that fastball and fouls it back. Surely would have been ball 1 otherwise. Ted will be very thankful for that one. Misses outside with the changeup, 1-1. And misses again with a curveball, 2-1. With the bases empty, you really got to challenge this guy more. Ramirez fouls that one away. A forkball that time, 2-2. And now with 2 strikes, you got to come in on him. You got to make him beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Fastball misses away. Another full count. This will be yet another payoff pitch. Ramirez flies that one down the right field line, but it is foul.
Sounded good.
So we'll stay with that one. It'll be payoff pitch number 2. Hit up the middle, on a line to center field. Ham seems to be tracking it. Gets the glove up, and he's got it. It's out number 2.
Nice. Good job, Ham.
Yeah, Ham as a center fielder has actually been quite good this year. He is at 6 runs saved on the season. And
Nice.
again, I don't want to jinx it, but in 400 and nearly 500 innings out there, he has yet to commit an error.
Ooh, that is exciting.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, I think last time we talked, he did not yet have an assist. He has 3 now.
Oh, cool.
And so it's times that he's taken the ball and thrown to get a runner out.
I'm glad he's settling in with the rest of the team in this position.
Exactly. Roberto Gomez comes up next. He is 0 for 2 on the day with 2 outs and the base is empty. Ted's got to challenge him. He's really got to fight him hard. As that goes right to Wally Balk. And well done, Ted. That's a hell of a rebound inning.
All right.
The Murciélagos go down 1, 2, and 3, and the score remains the same. Now it'll be up to Sherlew, Underwood, and Stonehand to try and get a rally started here in the bottom of the 5th against Damian Medina, who is through 4 innings on 56 pitches, having allowed 3 hits, striking out 3, 1 earned run, and 1 walk. Did I mention the 56 pitches?
I think so.
Sherlew struck out last time he's up, and he watches that sinker catch the inside of the zone 0-1. Not a whole lot you can do with that. It's not a great pitch to try and hit. That pitch, on the other hand, you probably could have hit and didn't. So it'll be an 0-2 count as Sherlew has not yet swung. Oh, hey, look, the awful doctor just grounded out for the Colmillos. And with him in the hole, Sherlew watches as that splitter falls outside. 1-2 now. Sherlew lines that one into center field. Gomez is chasing it down. He's got plenty of time to get in underneath, and he's got it. Out number 1. They're starting to, for the most part, lift contact on them a little.
Okay.
If they're starting to get contact in the air, then Medina's gonna. That means they're reading him. Sooner or later, he's gonna make a mistake.
Oh, good. Maybe they're going to turn it around.
Mm-hmm. Up comes Ham Underwood, who is 0 for 1 on the day. See here, with the bases empty, he's now hitting 388. Inning 4-6, he hits 385. Anything else that would be instructive here? Let's see. Nope, nothing in particular. Let's let her rip. 1 out, bases empty. That is hit through the third baseline. Victor Sapien can't get to that one, and that puts him on first base.
Oh, yes. It's funny that you looked at the spray chart, and then it wasn't quite right, but almost hit it exactly to his best angle there.
And if the outfield hadn't been shaded where it was, he probably gets a double out of it.
Yeah.
Now with the speedy man on first, Spike Stonehand comes up. He's 0 for 1. Let's see if they'll try to challenge Prado. I don't think they'll try to challenge. Medina's not a great holder. His pickoff move isn't awesome, but Prado has a very good arm. So they may let it alone. You may have noticed they haven't tried to steal yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that'll become more likely if we enter desperation time, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, Stoneham will certainly get a chance to take his first cuts here. He's 0 for 1. Line down in the bottom of the 3rd. There goes Underwood, and he will have it. That's his 22nd stolen base of the season. He's had a bit of trouble in the early going with the stolen bases. They've tried to find the right strategy for him, and for some reason it's just not gelling the way it used to. He was famous for being the fastest guy on the team, could steal basically at will. Something this year has changed, and we're not sure what it is. If he's just a well-known quantity now, and so people are kind of expecting it out of him, we're not sure. Anyway, with a man on second and 1 strike and 1 out. That's also in there. A slider and a splitter both land in the zone for strikes. Spike Stonehand now in the hole. Let's see if he'll respond. He strikes out. 2 outs and a man in scoring position. Medina's 4th strikeout of the game. And he'll now face Rob Feaster, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Let's see if Rob can bring this run around. Tying run on second. As that fastball misses low and away. 1-0. Feaster fouls that one off. Prado has to go get it. And it's 1-1 now. A fastball way up high. No idea why he swung at that. He swings on that one, and it's right to Cortez. Soft drive there, and that retires the side. Naguabo gets the hit, and that's it. And the score remains unchanged. Through 5, Murciélagos remain ahead 2-1. All of the scoring happening in the 4th inning. What do you think now?
I've enjoyed seeing the Naves make their attempts, but I have this bad feeling still. I still think it's Camuy.
You still think it's going to be Camuy?
Yes.
Yeah. I could see it going either way at this point. I am going to performatively disagree and say that it was, and say that it's Naguabo, but I wouldn't be shocked at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough game.
Mm-hmm. Ted comes up through 5 innings and 81 pitches. He's allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. He'll face the 3-4-5 hitters, starting with Artemisio Cortez, who's got a hit and a walk on the day. We are going to start bringing in relievers. Pitol and Anbar will get in the bullpen and start getting loose. Fastball misses away, 1-0. And he gets a swinging strike on the curveball, 1-1. Curveball inside, too. That's pretty embarrassing. Fastball called a strike. It's 1-2, and by the pricking of my thumbs, something vengeful this way comes.
Oh.
I think Ted wants the K here.
Let's see.
Oh, he tried to be deceptive with it, but that fastball missed by too much. 2-2.
Yeah.
Let's see if he'll try that again. He got him!
Woo!
5th strikeout for Ted Balloon. Cortez strikes out, and he'll now face Hercules Parra, who is 0 for 2 on the day. 1 out, bases empty. Parra watches that fastball miss outside. 1-0. Knocks that one down the left field line. 1-1. If I remember correctly, Hercules Parra, so he's been playing since the 1890s, and if I remember correctly, he played in Canada back in the day.
Okay.
Don't remember what team. Yeah, there weren't that many Puerto Ricans who played in Canada back in the day, but it did happen. Let's see here. CBL history.
Did he get some great batting skills while he was up there?
He must have, because he came back and he was awesome. He played for the Bone Breakers, Pickering, and honestly, I don't think he needed the batting advice. From what I see here, he was, on average, 40% better than the average hitter. He won the Moose Calf Award, the Rookie of the Year up there, and won the Lumberjack Award for left field. He also won 7 Players of the Week awards, 1 Batter of the Month, 2 Rookies of the Month. 8 Players of the Week awards. He was the number 17 prospect in the league, and he won the 1895 National Championship with the Bone Breakers, which I think was their first. They've since won another one.
Wow.
And if they had been allowed to develop him, he's a righty masher all the way. If they had continued with him into the designated hitter era, holy cow. Because the only knock on him was his defense. So.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 1-1 count and 1 out. That missed by a mile, obviously. Hits the dirt with a forkball, 2-1. And misses way inside with a fastball, 3-1. Give him this. It's not a full count. It's a walk. Ted's second walk of the game puts a man on first with 1 out for Cedro Pineda, who, if you remember correctly, already hit 2 triples today. The one bat you want to be facing with 2 outs.
Yeah.
Parra on first, 1 out. I'm seriously questioning the game plan here. Changeup misses away, 1-0. And there's another pickoff attempt to first. 1-0. Pineda fouls that one off. He got lucky. That was a hanging curveball. And Pineda must not have been expecting it to be that bad because he did not smash it. 1-1. Forkball misses outside. 2-1. Changeup misses low. 3-1. Ted, almost at 100 pitches, appears to have completely lost the zone.
Oh, Ted.
Well, he got saved there. Swinging strike on the fastball. That otherwise would have been ball 4. And now he'll get his chance to throw yet another payoff pitch. And he got him. Unbelievable.
Amazing.
A forkball dotted on the corner for his 6th strikeout of the game. And he will now face Santiago Romero, who's 1 for 2 with a ribby, with a man on first and 2 outs. Fastball misses low, 1-0. Hit on a line drive to center field. Ham is not chasing that down with anything resembling speed. That's going to be a run batted in, for sure. And it'll be another RBI triple into the deep outfield for the Murciélagos, and it's once again a 2-run game.
Man.
Romero makes the slide into 3. Parra scores. It's a 3-1 game for the Murciélagos. The 3rd earned run allowed by Ted. The first one that I think you can honestly say could have been avoided.
Mm-hmm.
Up comes Cipriano Montiel, who is 0 for 2 on the day with a man on third and 2 outs. Let's see if Ted can at least keep this within quality start territory. That is swung on, hit to Wally Balk. If he holds on and makes the throw, they'll at least keep it within 2 runs, and he does. Balk to Feaster. That'll retire to the side. The Murciélagos get their lead back to 2, and now it'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters, including the 2 who combined for a run last time they came up, to get another rally started. Medina is through 5 innings on 67 pitches, 4 hits and a run, a walk, 4 strikeouts. He faces Vidal Santiago, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Santiago swinging at the first pitch. It goes to Montiel, and go figure, it's an easy ground out.
Yeah.
Here comes Benji Valdez, who is 1 for 2 with a run batted in. Last time he hit an RBI triple. Outfield shifting left there as he checks his swing in time on the low sinker, 1-0. That fastball is adjudged to miss. I thought it was in the zone, but nope. 2-0 now. So does that slider, and it's a 3-0 count. First hitters count I think we've seen from Damian Medina all game. Maybe this presages something.
Presages it? Sure, why not?
3-0 count. It's a 4-pitch walk for Benji Valdez.
Okay.
Second of the game, from Damian Medina, and out comes Frank de Castillo, who drew the other walk, which is one of the few times he's been on base against Medina, because in 12 at-bats against him, he has yet to get a base hit.
Uh-oh.
Man on first and 1 out.
Until right now.
Yep, Benji is going to be gunned down at second.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
can't help themselves.
No, they can't. Base is empty and 2 outs. 1-0 count, however. And we've seen 2-out magic from this team before. And that was not it. Frank swings on that one and pops it up to second base. We are through 6 innings. And the Navegadores keep running themselves out of them. Side is retired. The score remains 3-1 in favor of Camuy. Before we head into the bottom of the third of the game, and after I have brought Anbar and Katol back into the bullpen, we will need another word from another of our beautiful sponsors. Louisa, the booth is yours.
Thank you. Folks, I have another product for you, a wonderful product also imported from England. This is Holloway's Pills and Ointment. Now, this is the best medicine for families, and every house should be well stocked with them. Purify your blood with Holloway Pills and Ointments. We know you're buying the Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tire Liquor, that's going to purify your blood. Purify it even more. Have the purest blood. You'll be in the best health with these pills and ointments. They also strengthen nerves and systems. All your various systems. We know the body's filled with systems. Who knows what they all do? We certainly don't. But you can fix them right up with pills and ointment. It cures, I should say they cure, both pills and ointment. You want both. They cure biliousness, too much bile, lack of appetite, not enough appetite, and indigestion. They are priceless for all women's and children's illnesses. What are children's illnesses? Croup, I guess, something like that. Thrush. This ointment is unrivaled for curing herpes, scurvy, sores, wounds, burns, and all kinds of skin diseases, including diseases of the legs. Not every ointment's going to cover legs for you. Check the fine print. Realize they're trying to scam you, and then head over to buy some Holloway ointment, which is going to cure your legs. Cure them right up, no problem. And this wonderful product, these two I should say, the pills also, they're made only at number 78 New Oxford Street in London. And they are sold at every pharmacy in the civilized world. Which is some great shade, because you know what they will tell you if you say, well, it's not at my pharmacy. They'll just tell you you're not in the civilized world. And you will be burned so shamefully you will never contact them again. I like the idea of an ointment curing scurvy. Where do you put that ointment? On your gums, perhaps? Because if you put it on your skin, it helps of fixing those bones, which are starting to dissolve because of scurvy. I don't know. It's going to have to go through lots of layers of skin and muscle and stuff. Veins, those horrible systems of the body that we mentioned earlier, which need those pills to keep moving smoothly, I guess. Oh good, there's a car alarm going off outside. Well, I hope you can't hear that. Or if you can, I hope it gets you excited about the idea of Holloway pills and ointments. Now's the time to buy them, stock up for the winter. That's when you get sick, that's when you're gonna get your scurvy and herpes, probably. And you can head those right off by buying those pills and ointments now. They're not really clear on, well, I should say, they are clear on what the ointment does. We discussed those things. They're not really clear on when you should be using the pills and when you should be using the ointment. For instance, if I want to cure my lack of appetite, do I take a pill or do I put some ointment on my body, possibly my tongue? Hard to say. Probably the pills for the old digestive system, I'm assuming.
In the hell did you just read?
We're discussing the many ways that Holloway's pills and ointments will cure you. But it's not 100% clear which diseases are cured by the pills and which ones by the ointments. So you're going to have to buy both and apply liberally.
Yeah. Now you're the scientist.
Mm-hmm. You're going to cure your scurvy, no problem.
I feel like we talked about this last time, but
is it about scurvy?
Didn't by 1904, did most people still not have access to some kind of anti-scurvy measure, I guess?
I think they did, because we know that we've got, sulfides in World War I that helped cure a lot of bacterial things. But before then, Victorian era, I think they knew enough about vitamins to know vitamin C was the one you needed for scurvy. I think they would have known that by this point. Plus, you're on the beautiful island of enchantment that is covered with delicious citrus fruits, so you can get those. Not even worry about the scurvy.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not really worried for Puerto Ricans. They
You worried about the people in London who are having to take these pills?
Yeah, I was wondering exactly who the market audience was here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a good question. And curing herpes, that's a tall order. I wonder how they get around that. I guess the life cycle of them is that they go away on their own for a while, and you can always kind of imply that you've cured them, I guess.
There is... Oh, I see. I was going to be far simpler about it and say that it's a lack of false advertising laws.
I mean, yes, that's very true. But you want people to feel that it's not false advertising. But the nice thing for them, for scamsters about herpes, is it kind of goes away for a while by itself.
Yeah.
I was also speculating on what children's illnesses might be, because we all know women's illnesses have that secret code, but children's, haven't heard that before.
Being annoying.
Yeah. I was saying it's probably colic and croup and thrush, things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if your kid is turning into a bird, I think you should get some medicine for that. That's not normal.
Yeah, or possibly magical means, if modern medicine doesn't do it for you.
Yeah, you've got a Geppetto issue going on in your house.
A reverse Geppetto, you're trying to stop your real human children from turning into something other than real human children.
Yes, a reverse Geppetto. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The old reverse Geppetto.
Does the reverse Geppetto, is he also a reverse toy maker? Like, is he? I don't know. I guess that would make him a rag and bone man.
I thought you were going to say the Grinch, in that he steals and destroys children's toys. Yeah, that makes sense. Rag and Bone Man, sure. Knacker Man, who takes away dead bodies, etc.
Yeah. Okay. And here we go. All right, let's get back to this bottom third of the game and see what we've got left in the tank. Ted is at exactly 100 pitches through 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The next run he allows will disqualify him from having a quality start. He faces Victor Sapien, who is over 2. And granted, quality start, whatever. It's not the most... It's not like he's got 100% there as it is. Because, let's see here. Has he already allowed... Yeah, he already allowed 4 runs in one game, but I do think he's got at least 6 in all of his starts. So if he can at least make it through this inning, we might consider just going to the bullpen from here on out.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Because, again, we do need to save the bullpen as much as possible. as he starts by missing low with the fastball, 1 out. Ted, by the way, I forgot to mention, now has 100 strikeouts on the year. As Sapien misses that fastball. He's at 104 now, to be exact. Last year he had 180 in 42 starts. This year he's already at over 100 in 15. So that's a pace for not quite 300, but high 200s. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The 1-1 pitch. As that's got to be a strike, and it is a low changeup. 1-2 now. Let's see if they can go after him, finish him off here. Okay, sure. Let's say that missed. Changeup is misses away. It's 2-2 now.
Oh boy.
And so does that. Even though it was on top of the changeup, that was a called second strike.
I don't like it.
Yep, so here we go. Yet another full count. Got him!
Woo.
7th strikeout on a fastball. Almost but not quite down the pipe. And it's 1 out, bases empty. He will now face Prado, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Has yet to get a base hit. He popped up last time. And Balloon misses high with the fastball this time, 1 out. Nobody swings at those. Only players on Naguabo do. That forkball barely makes it in there, and it's 1-1 now. He swings right through the fastball, 1-2. Got him! Back-to-back strikeouts from Ted Balloon. This time swinging on the curveball. All low pitches there, and he got him. And now he'll face Tadeo Ramirez, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Let's see if he can get out of this inning unscathed and put his team in a good position. That is grounded out to Valdez. He's got it, makes the throw in plenty of time. Ramirez is out, and that's a clean inning from Ted Balloon, who may have just bought himself the 8th.
He's hanging on.
As usual, from our 7th inning stretch, we will now take a look around town and see what's going on. Any interesting games. Guardacostas de Cataño are beating Aguadilla 2-0. The Libertadores de Guaynabo are ahead 7-1 over the Cafeteros de Maricao. Callum Shaw just lined out for the Fieles de Lares, who are down 1-0 against Jose Guzman and the Guavaleros de Comerío. The Mulos de Aguas Buenas are ahead 1-0 on the Cítricos de las Marías. The Palomas de Sidra and Galanes de Ciales are tied 1-1 in the 7th inning. Jacques Mollet, whom you may remember from our La Pulcritud series, who's having a real weird season. He's 5-7, great ERA, but he's walking nearly as many guys as he's striking out. And today he's managed to walk 3 without getting a strikeout. How they're tied, I have no clue.
Oh, jeez.
Jauco, the Corsos, are up 1-0 on the Caciques de Orocovis. The Guristas de Peñuelas are ahead 1-0 on the San Isalvos de Morovis. They're in the bottom of the 7th. They've got runners on the corners with 2 outs and certainly threatening to get some insurance runs. Brendan John just RBI'd the first run of the game in. Harry Jones just singled for the Jinetes de Toa Baja and scored Pavon. They are now up 8-0 against Bayamón de Lecheros, who have officially pulled their starter. The Hechiceros de Guayama are up 2-1 against Teucro Barbosa and the Poetas de Toa Alta. They've got a man on with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Leyendas de San Lorenzo versus Cornúpetas de Calle are on a rain delay right now. The Leyendas are ahead 2-0 with Crispin Velasco up to pitch against Calle. The Taínos de Gurabo are up 4-0 on the Frios de Bonito. John Morse, their Bucheron, hit his 10th home run of the year. He's on pace to hit over 30 for the year.
Wow.
Let's see here. The Coquis de Caguas are ahead 2-1 on the Acropolitanos de Manatí. Callum McDonald pitching. He's got 6.2 innings, just a walk and 2 strikeouts. He's doing very, very well for the Coquis this year. The Esqueletos are hanging on in the bottom of the 7th. They're ahead 5-4 on the Mogotes de Florida. Felipe Munguia is pitching for Florida, which is usually a bad sign for Florida. The Insolentes de Fajardo are up 4-0 on the Marineros de Barceloneta, but Enrique Cruz just doubled to put 2 men on within scoring position, and it's an open question if Diego Sanchez will be able to hold on here. 22 years old, his control is not quite where it needs to be. In Culebra, the Amigos de Guanica are beating the Tortugas 5-3. And in Las Piedras, the Menestrales are down 2-3 to the Tejedores behind Agapito Jimenez, who is not having a good year, but is so far holding them to 2 runs, although he did just walk Jose Rocha. Erasmo Hernandez just hit his 2nd home run of the year for the Tejedores. The Golondrinas are ahead 4-2 on the Milagrosos de Humacao. Siriaco Bartra is having another of his incredibly frustrating games. He's walked 3, struck out 4. And Toby Dowell, their Welsh second baseman, hit his first career home run. He's in his sophomore season here. The Pepinos and Dulceros are tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 7th. The Quesiteros and Macabeos are in a huge slugfest. The Quesiteros are ahead 8-6, and it looks like Curcio Cruz it has been pitching the last 5 outs for Trujillo Alto. He's allowed 1 run and struck out 1. Speaking of rain delays, the Gigantes 2-0 victory over the Matadioses, at least currently, is on a rain delay. Bannon Quinton from the Gigantes' first baseman hit his 2nd home run of the year. The Matadioses currently have 2 on with 1 out. In Barranquitas, the Ilustres are up 7-1 on the Ingenieros.
Wow.
Tulio Acevedo really controlling them despite his propensity for walks. And that 1 run came on catcher Leo Vigildo Sanchez's 2nd home run of the year. Javier Moreno is currently at bat with a man on and 1 out. The Brillantes de Naranjito are ahead 3-0 on the Capitanes de Mayagüez. Mike Bellinger not having a great time today. He sure has not shown the same promise that he did last year when he was traded over to Mayagüez from the Pescadores. The Mofongueros and Cerros are locked in a scoreless tie until the bottom of the 7th.
Jeez.
Villalba is ahead 2-1 on the Santos. Jock O'Halligan just grounded out for them, and it'll be catcher Aymar Heredia against Villalba pitcher Roberto León. In another rain delay at Estadio Radamés Martínez in Ponce, the Arribeños are ahead 3-0. But Jose Pisano in the bottom of the 4th will get to pitch against Aymar Gonzalez, who is probably going to do a great job because actually he's been doing just fine.
Big day for guys named Aymar.
Mm-hmm. In the Battle of the Vegas, Vega Alta is currently up on Vega Baja. 3-0 against Hernan Toruño, who got all 3 runs charged to him. On 10 hits, Vega Baja has not been able to put anything together with its 5 own hits. The Corsarios, the Quebradillas are up 2-0 on the Tumbabrazos de Carolina in the 9th. The Pescadores de Salinas are up 2-1 against Mateo Gonzalez and the Ejemplares de Dorado in the 7th. The Valencianos de Juncos are embarrassing. The Termales de Coamo, Nicolas Luna on the mound for them, is having a pretty good game so far, although he has walked 4 guys, so things could get worse any second now. Old Navegador David Marrero is currently through 7 innings of 1-run ball. He's walked 3 guys but struck out 4 against the Corceres de Santa Isabel. Eric Hollinger hit his 16th home run of the year.
Wow.
That's the 1 run Santa Isabel has gotten. In the Canoanas game, the Chupacabras currently have the bases loaded with 2 outs against Carlos Rodriguez. If they manage to get a run across, they will break a 1-1 tie. Arecibo is ahead 1-0 against the Soles de Luquillo. Ricardo Castro has so far managed to pitch a very unique game. He is 19 outs into this with 2 on and 1 out and has yet to have a walk or a strikeout. The Romeros de Hormigueros are ahead 3-2 on the Picudos de Ceiba here in the bottom of the 7th. And the Telegrafistas de Arroyo are up 3-0 on the Marcianos de Lajas. Domingo Villalobos has been charged with all 3 runs and 3 walks on the day. Previous Navegador, John Anderson, hit his 5th home run of the year earlier. He's responsible for 2 of the runs there.
Nice.
In Patillas, Cabo Rojo is ahead 1-0 on the local Cuervos. Pablo Garcia for Patillas has pitched a pretty good game, but so has the opposition. The Artilleros and Arzobispos are tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Maximiliano Baena is on for Maunabo and threatening against Julio Piñero, who's pitching for Aguada. And lastly, Moca is ahead 6-2 on the Metropolitanos. Dalmacio Lua for San Juan is having another iffy game, and Sebastian Milling, the Exonian Napoleon, is leading off the top of the 7th. He's already 2 for 3 on the day, and he is currently hitting .326. Exonian, for those of you who are unaware, that is the adjective for people from Exeter.
It's a good term.
It is. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Jacques Centur will start the inning. He is 0 for 2 on the day against Damian Medina, who had 74 pitches through 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts, has so far very effectively controlled this game. Let's see if there's any way to push him out of his comfort zone.
That's good.
Well, last time Centur struck out, that goes into the stands on the sinker. So that's 0-1 instead. That's a better result than obviously an out there. Oh, he bunked him! Sinker got away from him, and there goes the Centurion. Wally Bach will be up. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Let's see what he can do with a man on first and no outs.
Has Medina hit more people than Ted has?
And there goes Centur trying to steal on the first pitch, and he gets thrown out. I don't think Damian Medina's... That's his 3rd hit batter of the entire season. Has he hit another guy?
I thought he did a couple just in this game. Maybe I'm wrong.
He's come close. I don't know if he's hit somebody else.
Okay.
Anyway, up comes Wally Bach. He's 1 for 2. 0-1 count. 1 out and bases empty on a very ill-advised steal. Bach cuts on that one and sends it foul backwards. It's 0-2 now after that sinker. That pitch misses way wide. It's 1-2. There's like 5 guys in the entire league who wouldn't have laid off of that one. That gets caught by the shortstop. He rushes the throw, but it's in time to nab Bach, and it doesn't go away. And here comes Etaoin Shirley. And here's my question. Switch him out? No, why is that even a question? Yes, we're switching him out. We're going to see if by any chance Pablo Salmeron here
we go.
Can get anything done. Yep, Pablo Salmeron will be in. He is hitting .397. OPS of .902, no home runs, 17 runs batted in. Let's see if he can at least extend the inning, give Medina something to think about. 2 outs, bases empty. Salmeron immediately swings through the fastball, the fastest one that Medina has thrown today. 0-1. Fastball misses away, 1-1. Salmeron lines that one into center field, and it falls in. That's a base hit. Whoa. And furthermore, Roberto Gomez drops it. That's going to put him on second.
He didn't just drop it. He threw it away from him accidentally, I guess.
Basically, yeah. It went under his glove.
Oof.
That's his 4th error out there in center field. And don't bring up Ham Underwood, who is 1 for 2 and had a single back in the 5th. Let's see what he can do to extend the inning here as Medina is at 83 pitches. 1 on, 2 outs.
Ooh.
Grounded out to short. Should be the end of the inning. And by a couple steps it is.
That was some new music, said like DeBarge.
Yeah. That's a good...
Very
Yeah,
late
that's a good
80s.
poll. We're through 7, and Camuy remains ahead 3-1. Ambar and Katol will be back in the bullpen. As Ted gets set to face the 2-3-4 hitters, and we are going to be quick with our hook here. Ted is through 7 innings. He's allowed 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts, and he will now face Roberto Gomez, who is over 3 on the day. Gomez watches that forkball miss low, 1-0. So does that fastball, 0-2 now. Or, pardon me, 2-0 now. 0-2 is what I wish it were. He fouls that one off. Change up, 2-1. And then he misses again. Change up, missing low, 3-1. Let's see if we can get back into this game. Nope. He walks him. Oh, boy. Juan Pinedo will be into bat against Ted. Not sure this is such a great idea like they think it is. They put in Benavides apparently in left field as well. With a man on first and no outs. I don't know. I like his chances here. Juan Pinedo will be standing in at first. He is currently hitting .265, OPS of .591, no home runs, 8 runs batted in. He's in as a defensive replacement at first base. So, no home runs, 8 runs batted in. As that fastball is in there, it's strike 1. That is swung on and flown foul. It'll be 0-2 now. As Ted once again misses, hits the dirt with that forkball, 1-2. Luckily, bounces in front of Stonehand, and he attempts a pickoff throw to first. Gomez is back on that one. That is swung on into center field. Underwood's got it. And he'll make the relay throw to keep Gomez at first. 1 out, man on. Up comes Hercules Parra, who is 0-2 on the day. Last time up, he drew a walk and then came around to score. There goes Gomez, and there goes Stonehand, nailing him at second.
Nice.
Stonehand 35 for 63 now. And with the bases empty and 2 outs, let's see if Ted can deal with Parra and get on with his day. That changeup misses, 2-0. That changeup doesn't. It's 2-1 now. He proves capable of at least throwing some things in the zone. Parra flies that one over center field. Ham Underwood chasing it down, and he's got it for out number 3. See what happens when you trust your defense?
Uh-huh.
Well, what happens is they don't run out the out and a run scores, but that happened earlier in this game, so.
Yeah, we have to have a short memory about these things.
That's right, yes. Be a goldfish.
Mm-hmm.
In the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Spike Stonehand, Rob Feaster, Vidal Santiago up to bat. I don't think there's anybody better than the guys we currently got up there, so pretty much we're going to have to go with the starting lineup. What?
I said nobody does it better.
Nobody out hits the whatever. Spike Stonehand is 0-2. He's facing Damian Medina, who is through 7 innings on 84 pitches. 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. One of them was Stonehand back in the 5th. This time he decided not to strike out, so instead he'll ground out on the first pitch. Pinedo will have that in plenty of time, and that will turn the lineup over. Rob Feaster would sure like to get a base hit here because he is currently 0-3, and that is pitiful for him.
Yep.
Trying to remember the last time. He had 2 3-hit games back-to-back a little while ago. Yeah, okay, June 1st, so it's not that long ago, but a week ago. Although, this time, was he a pinch runner? He didn't get an at-bat in that game.
Weird.
Wow. Alright, here we go. 1 out, bases empty. Medina misses inside with the slider, 1-0. Right down the pipe with a changeup, and Feaster cannot make contact on it, 1-1. That is rolled out right in front of the catcher. Should be an easy ground out. And in fact, that's exactly what it is. Medina just has this team's number. And up comes Vidal Santiago, who's 1 for 3 as the last chance here to get something going before the ninth. 2 outs, base is empty. Santiago watches that slider miss, 1-0. They haven't really pushed Medina to the limit basically at all. They haven't forced him to throw long at bats. They've just been way too willing to get themselves out for him. And that's an easy fly out to right field. Romero has it. Doesn't even need the second hand. It's a clean inning for Camuy. Naguabo remains down 3-1. And with Ambar and Catol still in the bullpen, we're going to let Ted at least start this inning against Cedro Pineda, who's 2 for 3 with a run batted in on the day. We fully acknowledge this may be a bad idea. Ted has pitched 8 innings over 124 pitches, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. But he did strike out Cedro Pineda last time, and looks like he might start it again as that fastball way inside. Cedro Pineda swings completely through it. That is hit hard, but he should be able to hold him to a single. De Castillo has it, and that's a 3-hit game for Cedro Pineda.
Wow.
That'll put a man on with no outs for Santiago Romero, who is 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Yep, we're going to bring in Kareem Anbar as our new pitcher.
Okay.
He has thrown 6 1/3 innings, that is 19 outs, won 1 game, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, allowed 4 hits, and currently has an ERA of 0.00. Kareem Anbar is a lefty side armor and a slider, sinker, soldier, spy kind of guy. Let's see if between him and Stonehand they can put some good outs together. Pineda on first and no outs. Look at that delivery. Oh, Stonehand can't get the ball out of his hand in time. And he'll be safe. Romero, of course, had that triple back in the 6th, and now we're in real trouble. Pineda is 7 for 19 in stolen bases, and they allowed that.
Amazing.
Romero 2 for 3. He's doing badly against lefties, though, so. Sinker misses low, 1-1. Swings on that one and fouls it off. Stonehand's got it. 1-2 now. Hit hard to first base. Feaster has it, throws to Anbar, and that's out number 1. But Pineda will move to third. So Romero manages to be productive even there. They'll need to keep this one on the ground if they have a prayer of preventing that 4th run. Montiel comes up. He is 0 for 3 on the day. Man on third and 1 out. Montiel watches that slider miss wide, 1-0. That is swung on. It goes to Valdez. He's got it. Makes the throw. And let me guess. Yup. Bad throw. First error of the game happens now.
Of course.
To put runners on the corners with 1 out. Hernan Pereira will now be pinch hitting for the Murciélagos. He is currently hitting .250, OPS of 583. No home runs and 3 runs batted in. Good contact hitter, which I guess is what they're hoping for. Let's see if we have, against lefties, which is why they're putting him in here, he's had no base hits in 7 at-bats. I would also like to point out Brian Tate hit his 16th home run of the year who we've been doing this.
Wow, another 16 guy.
Yep. And Jake Getman hit his 10th.
Oh.
There's been a slow decline in the power now. We're not sure what's going on with that. There's a real possibility that they've started mucking with the baseball or the bats to try and reduce that, because some of these guys were on pace to hit like 72.
Yeah, that would be wild.
Yeah. Anyway, here we go. Pereira watches that one. Pereira batting triple twos as a pinch hitter here. That slider is in there for a strike, 0-1. Stonehand once again cannot get, for some reason, cannot get the ball out of his hand in time in this inning. And that puts 2 on. So with 2 strikes, it's all on Ambar to get this out.
Man.
And he misses low with a sinker, 1-2. That's ground out to third. They're going to throw home. Is he? No! The throw is offline. Wait, did he get it?
Did he?
He's out! They got him out at home.
Wow.
How? I have no idea because it didn't touch him. Like, watch this tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's very confusing. But with runners on the corners and 2 outs and Francisco Prado up to bat, he's 0 for 3 on the day. Anbar might be able to get out of this unscathed.
Yeah.
Might. Prado has struck out twice. As that slider misses low, 1-0. And so does that slider. 2-0 now. Prado swings on that one and fouls it backwards. It's 2-1 now. Fouls that one as well. 2-2 now. Prado hits that one to Valdez. If he holds on, this inning's over. And he does. Perfect peck to second. And that's out number 3. Kareem Anbar comes in, relieves Ted Balloon, and gets out of the inning no problem, stranding 2 base runners.
That's kind of amazing.
Damian Medina will be up to bat what might be the final 3 outs. And what better man to start those final 3 outs than Benji Valdez, who is 1 for 2 on the day with a ribby. Damian Medina is through 8 innings, 90 pitches, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Here goes nothing. First pitch to Valdez. Swung on, and this time it is not lined down the first baseline. So Pinedo has no problem retiring it. Fast sinker, hit hard, but not well. Up comes Frank Del Castillo, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Base is empty and 1 out, as he also swings at the first pitch and fouls it off, 0-1. He checks a swing in time, but they say that was a strike. Jeez. Valeriano Garcia just hit his 4th home run of the year. The Golondrinas Milagrosos game is now a 3 home run game.
Ooh. Wild.
2 strikes, 1 out. Base is empty for Frank Del Castillo. Frank watches that one inside. A slider, 1-2. Hits that one. It goes to Montiel. It's an easy ball to pick up and throw, and that's out number 2.
No.
So here comes Centura as the last chance. He's 0 for 2. He got plunked last time. 2 outs, base is empty. Damian Medina has a chance at getting out of this in under 100 pitches. Misses outside with a sinker, 1-0. Choosing to take his time here. Centura swings right through the slider. It's 1-1. Swings on that one. Left field should be very catchable. And it's a sliding catch.
Wow.
By Pineda out there. Benavides, pardon me. It's the defensive replacement. And he holds up the ball. Great catch to end the ball game. Can't even be mad at that play. If you didn't want him doing that, you should have been hitting the ball earlier. Camuy wins 3-1 at La Timonera. Murciélagos have won 4 in a row. Damian Medina gets his 10th win of the season. 9 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Ted Balloon gets his 4th loss of the season as he pitched 8 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts over 126 pitches. Well, there's not a whole lot you can say about that.
True.
It's bad hitting, not paying attention to what you're doing, being way too willing to swing at the first pitch and make contact on that one. As Medina said, throwing strikes was the main thing, and that's exactly how it went down. Any
Yep.
final thoughts before we let him go?
It's bittersweet to be the Isidro Damas in this instance, to know that I felt that Camuy was going to win, and they did, but I didn't want them to. So hopefully the Naves can turn it around next time.
Yes, we would definitely. This is definitely not the result we like to see. But ideally, this is going to end up being just kind of a hiccup uh,
Mm-hmm.
in what is otherwise going to be a great season. And if it isn't, that's fine too. This is a core of navegadores that are going to be together for at least a few more years. And
Mm-hmm.
if this is, they've been through, they fought for 2 red pennants, they've won 1 red pennant, they've gotten swept in the national championship. There are all these things that they've suffered. So they haven't been an underdog after the
Mm-hmm.
1902 makeover, but it's also not like they've been, at least not yet, a team of destiny.
Mm-hmm.
That's really when you think, okay, this team could go all the way, and we haven't really seen that from them yet. We've seen fits and starts, flashes of brilliance certainly, but they're even when they're a buzzsaw, they have very obvious weaknesses, and the right people can take advantage of them, and that's what we
Yeah.
saw today.
Yep.
Well, we will probably not be back next week. The week after, we'll be back with hopefully the Partido de Campeones and associated festivities. We're very glad to. We're gonna try and bring you the All Star Challenge and see how
Ooh.
fun that is. Pardon me, the home run challenge, and see how fun that is. We think that'll be interesting. The simulator has supposedly made that over a number of times, and so I think it'll be pretty
Okay.
exciting to watch. That field gets chosen on the day. It's not like the real home run derby where guys sort of sign up for it over the course of a month as kind of little
Mm-hmm.
bombshells. So it'll be interesting to see who shows up if we ask, AI essentially to choose the field. I still think it'll be 8 Canadians, but a Jake Getman might be in there, somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
But until
Fun.
then, yeah, it should be, and we'll get to see a Partido de Campeones. I have it on good authority that the Navegadores might have 3 All Stars this season,
Ooh.
so we'll see. But in the meantime, gente, as always, this has been Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Buenas noches, gracias mil, y Dios les bendiga.